Hello again and welcome back. Welcome to a new class, class number 152. Yes, sir, I'm impressed. Estoy impresionado. I'm impressed. Yes, with your progress. I'm especially impressed with your attendance. Every day I see you there. Every day you're there, al pie del cañón, watching me. Sometimes I see you taking notes. I don't think it's necessary. Well, it depends. If you have the books, if you have these books, you don't need to take notes. Everything's explained here. You don't need to take notes. So I prefer you relax and absorb the English that's flowing in your direction. In your direction, o bien in your direction. Dos pronunciaciones. Direction, direction. And so really, just sit back. Sit up is incorporarse así. Sit back is relaxed. Sit back and enjoy the program. Don't get uptight and anxiety trying to understand every word. That's counterproductive. Come on. Just relax. If you don't understand 100%, don't worry. Don't worry. Listening comprehension is a slow process, como las olas del mar que contornan la playa. Okay? The sound of English caresses your ear and slowly opens it. Y luego te das cuenta de que mucho lo que no entendías antes eran cosas que por escrito habrías entendido. Será, no, ¿cómo es posible? Discriminación de sonidos. Okay? But you need to relax and not try to understand every word. Eso es entender por captura y registro, y eso no funciona. Es contraproducente, es malo. To try to understand is bad. You need to relax. Take it easy. Okay. But in any case, this is not sermon time, so I'm not going to sermon you today because we need to do a review of our translation list. Camera number 1, please. Quiero una propuesta por escrito. Dos formas. I want a written, doble T. I want a written proposal, or I want a proposal in writing. T simple. Writing, in writing or written. Vaya al grano, por favor. Get to the point. Get to the point. Get to the point, please. Stop beating around the bush. Get to the point. Esto es el meollo de la cuestión. This is the heart of the matter. The heart, el corazón. Heart, no heart. Heart. This is the heart of the matter. Hagamos un trato. Let's make a deal, shall we? Let's make a deal. Yo nunca hago tratos con gente como tú. I never make deals with people like you. Like you. Q, ¿por qué dices la letra Q? Yo no digo la letra Q. Pues sí, Q. No, like you. Like you. Like you. Like you. Like me, like you. I never make deals with people like you. El bebé murió al nacer. The baby died at birth. It's a very sad story, but this happens sometimes. Si quieres impresionarle, enséñale esto. If you want to impress him, show him this. Show him this. It really works. People look at it, wow. And their eyes get this big. Their eyes get this big. In Spanish, se ponen como platos. Okay? But in English, no. His eyes get this big. All right? He says, wow, cool, I really like this. If you want to impress him, show him this. Okay? Los ascensos aquí se basan en el mérito y nada más. Promotions here are based on merit and nothing else. Promotions here aren't based on seniority, antigüedad. They're not based on influence. They're not based on lobbies. Promotions here are based on merit and nothing else. Do you understand? Okay. Based on, basado en, based, ed, con sonido de T. Based, una sola sílaba, based. Base es base, o basar, el infinitivo. Based es base, basó usted, basaron, o basado, el participio. Based. Luego, on es la preposición que siempre va después, basado en. Based on. Based on. Y hay dos palabras en español que os puede dar pista cómo decirlo en inglés. Bastón, un bastón, based on, o pastón, un pastón, based on. So, promotions in this company are based on merit, el mérito, te lo mereces, is based on merit and nothing else. No dejes que te pongan nervioso. Don't let them make you nervous. What's the problem? Come on. They're not important. They're not. They are not. They're not important. They're not important. Don't let them make you nervous. You're much more important than they are. Come on. You need a strong injection of self-esteem. Come on. You're worth 10 of them. Vales 10 de ellos. You're worth 10 of them. You don't realize how valuable you are. You don't realize your worth, tu valor, o tu valía. Yeah. You're worth your weight in gold, my friend. You're worth, you are, you're worth your weight in gold. Sobre todo al precio del kilo de oro hoy en día, que es muy, muy alto. Yeah, yo peso, I weigh 84 kilos. I think that's about 1.5 million euros. So, do you prefer me or do you prefer the gold? If you prefer the gold, then I'm not worth my weight in gold. Okay, le gusta hacer comentarios sarcásticos. He likes to make sarcastic remarks. A remark es un comentario con veneno, dardo envenenado. A remark. A mí no me gusta ese comentario. I don't like that remark. Remark. No le hagas caso. Come on, don't pay any attention to him. Ignore him. Ignore him. He's not important. Don't pay any attention to him, okay? Come on. Don't worry about him. He's not important. Ignore him. Hasta ahora siempre he confiado en él. Up to now, I've always trusted him. I've always trusted him. And I hope you trust me. Okay. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello and welcome to Vaughan English 4.0. That's right. Yeah, this is the most complete course in the world, but you know that. My name is Alberto Alonso, but you know that. Do you know who my student is? Ah, there's something you don't know. Well, it could be Esther, but it's not. It could be Pilar, but it's not. It could be David, tampoco. Oh, I'll give you a hint. Te doy una pista. She's from Brazil. Any ideas? No. All right, if you haven't guessed, I'll introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Rio de Janeiro, Anna. Hello, Anna. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good. Now, do you think a lot of people guessed who you were? What do you think? 50-50?
Maybe so, yeah. Maybe so.
I think 50%. If you're if they've been following the course, then they know who you are.
Yes.
Right? Okay, well, now let me ask you this. I asked you in the last class, do you feel like you're improving?
Yes, I do.
Great. Ask me if I feel like you're improving.
Do you feel like I'm improving?
Yes, I do too. I agree. I second the motion, como decimos. Cuando un proceso judicial, a court, I say blah, blah, blah. Well, I second the motion. Es como yo estoy de acuerdo también.
Okay.
Es una forma de decir estoy de acuerdo. I second the motion. Okay? All right, ask me what we're going to look at today.
What are we going to look at today?
We're going to look at dating.
Okay.
Saliendo con gente. Okay, so you go out with your friends and you try to ligar. How do you say this?
I don't know.
This is important vocabulary.
Hook up.
Ah, 5 points. So you go out and you try to hook up. Okay? So you hook up. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You hook up, and then you get in a relationship. You start to salir con alguien?
To date.
To date or to?
To go out.
To go out. Muchos verbos compuestos. Hook up, go out. So you're going out, and you're going out in 6 months, and you're in love, and then things don't work out, so you
Break up.
break up. ¿Qué es esto de verbos compuestos en todos sitios? We can't get away from them. So first you hook up, then you start going out, then you break up, and then you have to recuperarte. How do you say this? To get over it, or to
okay.
get over that person. Si lo piensas, get over, superar. Es muy, si lo asociamos, to get over someone, right? But there's another thing we have to do too, is seguir hacia adelante. Yeah, you get over the other person and you...
Move on.
Yeah, es que verbos compuestos aquí hay para aburrir. Okay? To move on.
Or you can make up.
Or you can make up. See that? How many? I'm going to give you 50 points for that one.
Thank you.
You impressed me right there. Okay, or you can make up, hacer las paces y reconciliar. Right? Good, good. See, there's a lot of phrases. You know, there are more too that we could talk about. But the key one here is to move on. Now, it's not only in a relationship, but a difficult situation. You know, I was a little bit upset after that event, but I've moved on. I was very sad after the death of my grandmother. My grandmother, how do you say falleció?
Passed away.
10 points. She passed away, and now, at first I was sad, and now I am moving on. To move on, okay? Move on, seguir hacia adelante. Okay, so we're going to move on now to a translation list.
Okay.
Speaking of moving on, okay. Let's take a look. Translation list number 50. Okay, quiero una propuesta por escrito.
I want a proposal in writing. Or
In writing or?
I want a written proposal.
Yeah, suena mejor. Se podría decir de las dos formas. So, dame las dos, me han gustado.
I want a written proposal or I want a proposal in writing.
10 points. Okay, vaya al grano. We looked at this one.
Get to the point.
Get to the point. Good. Okay, esto es el meollo de la cuestión.
This is the heart of the matter.
Yeah, this is the heart of the matter. This is the heart of the matter. Hagamos un trato.
Let's make a deal.
Let's make a deal. Okay? Okay? How do you say trato hecho?
Done deal.
It's a done deal. Trato hecho. It's a done deal. How do you say repartir las cartas?
To deal the cards.
A deal también. A dealer deals the cards. Okay? Nunca hago tratos con gente como tú.
I never make deals with people like you.
Yeah, I never make deals with people like you. El bebé murió al nacer.
The baby died at birth.
Yeah, not a very pleasant thought, right? Si quieres no puedo hablar. Si quieres impresionarle, enséñale esto.
If you want to impress him, show him this.
One more time.
If you want to impress him, show him this.
Good. Los ascensos aquí se basan en el mérito y nada más.
Promotions here are based on merit and nothing more.
Okay, or
Nothing
nothing
else.
And nothing else. No dejes que te pongan nervioso.
Don't let him get you nervous.
Or don't let him make you nervous.
Make you nervous.
One more time.
Don't let him make you nervous.
Don't let him. Y me gusta como dijiste, el them, cuando lo dices rápido. Don't let him. No decimos don't let them. Y lo has dicho muy nativo. Don't let him make you nervous. Pero puede ser him or them. Se sabe del contexto. Don't let him get you down. No deja que ello te deprima o ellos. Don't let him. Don't let him. Qué bien, me gusta. No le hagas caso.
Don't pay attention to him.
Don't pay attention to him. Don't pay any attention to him. Hasta luego.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. See ya.
You know, I was thinking, estaba pensando, I was thinking that maybe it would be a good idea for me to teach you the difference between to make and to do. Yeah, well, maybe later on. I'll do it later on, okay? But I was also thinking that maybe it would be a good idea for me to teach you the difference between to say and to tell, Well, on second thought, literalmente en segundo pensamiento. On second thought, bueno, pensándolo bien. On second thought, maybe later on. I'll teach it later on, okay? But you know, it just occurred to me, or it just, acaba de ocurrirme, se me acaba de ocurrir. It just occurred to me that maybe I could teach you again, review some and any, and no. Some, any, and no. Well, on second thought, maybe later on. It's just occurred to me that maybe I could change to camera 1. Maybe I could change to camera 1. Well, on second thought, maybe later on. Maria doesn't agree with that. Maybe I should do it now. Eh? Maybe I shouldn't wait until later on. Later on is not a good idea with Maria. Maria says, ¿Cuál es la palabra mágica? I said, now. Oh, that's the magic word for Maria. Not please. Now. So I'll change to camera number 1. Are you there? All right. Later on is más adelante. Later is más tarde. No hay diferencia realmente. What's the difference in Spanish between más tarde, o luego, y más adelante? Parece que más adelante es más tiempo transcurre, ¿no? Más tarde podría ser dentro de 2 horas. Thank you for the chewing gum, el chicle. I'll save it for later. Lo guardo para más tarde, para luego. Para más adelante, well, it's correct too, but probably in Spanish you would say luego o más tarde. And in English, in this case, I'll save it for later. Later on is more time transpires. Transcurrir tiempo se dice transpirar en inglés, que es sudar en español. Transpire is passage of time. Okay, more time transpires when you say later on. Later on. De hecho, podría ser mucho transcurso de tiempo. Jimmy, you're 16 years old now, and you know that you're a young adult now. You're no longer a child. You're a young adult. Okay, and you need to learn a few things. And a few things I'm going to tell you, probably you will not understand why they're important. But later on, you will remember me and appreciate the fact that I sat down with you now to tell you these things. Some of the things I will tell you don't seem important or don't even make sense. Ni tienen sentido. But later on, más adelante, later on, you will realize that this conversation we're having now was very important. Okay? You're a young adult, a very young adult. You're only 16, but now you can drive a car. Because here in the state of Oklahoma, young teenagers can drive cars at the age of 16, and that's a very important responsibility. Because a car is a very dangerous machine. It's a wonderful machine that can take you from point A to point B efficiently and quickly. But it's also a very powerful machine that can kill people or injure people seriously. So you need to understand the responsibility that you are taking on when you drive a car. Now for you, listening to me tell you these things, yeah, papa, okay, perhaps maybe it goes in one ear and goes out the other. And you're trying to say, a ver si termina este pesado, this is her sermon. But later on, you'll understand why I have wanted to talk to you today. And later on, when you have your children and your son or your daughter reaches the age of 16, you'll probably want to sit down with them and say the same things I'm telling you now. To say the same things that I'm telling you now. All right? You need to be a responsible adult in some things. In other things, maybe not yet. You can still be a child. Even me, at my age, there is still a lot of the child in me. And I don't want to lose many of the aspects of the child in my personality. But there's another side to my personality that understands the responsibilities I have as an adult and the people who depend on me. And so you need to know this too. And I think right now, on your 16th birthday, it's a good moment. It's a good time for me to sit you down and talk to you about your responsibilities, especially in view of the fact, en vista del hecho de que, especially now, in view of the fact that you're going to be driving a car. Very dangerous. Cars can be very dangerous. Okay, so, and for many people, a car ends up being a coffin. Termina siendo un ataúd. Many cars for some people. So, Jimmy, remember these words, okay? And later on, más adelante, later on, you will understand these words much more, okay? La expresión later on, más adelante, later on, yeah, means as time passes, later on. Later on también puede ser tiempo muy corto. Later on today, más adelante hoy, tengo intención de ir al supermercado. Later on today, I'm planning to go to the grocery store. I need to buy some groceries. My cupboards are bare and my refrigerator is empty. My God. So later on today, más tarde hoy, later on today, I need to go to the grocery store. Would you like to come with me? Yes. I'm going to do heavy shopping. I'm going to buy a lot of things. I need to buy olive oil, at least 2 kilos or 3 kilos of, no more, about 6 kilos of olive oil. It's very heavy. I need to buy 3 6-packs of beer and 3 6-packs of cola, Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola. Yeah, I need to, and that's a lot of heavy bags that we need to carry home. Would you like to come with me? I'm going later on, after this program, I'm going to the supermarket or to the grocery store to go shopping. Why don't you come along? I need some help. Yeah, would you like to carry the bags for me? Or we can carry them together? Okay. I only live about 300 meters from the supermarket. It's uphill, sorry. But you don't mind coming. I'll be going later on this afternoon, later on. And I'll be back after this break. So later on, I'll be back. Hi, I have some things I want to tell you. But I think I'll tell you later on. Now's not the right time. You know, I have some things I want to show you. Yeah, in this book, here. This book has some interesting things, pictures and things I want to show you. But now's not the right time. I'll show them to you later on, if you don't mind. You know, I wanted to tell you something about these pencils. There's something strange. There's something mysterious about these pencils that I never realized until now. And now I'm a bit afraid to touch them. There's some type of force or power contained in this pencil holder, and I don't know what it is. But I don't have time now to dwell on this subject, so perhaps I'll talk to you about it later on, okay?
Hello everyone, I'm Natasha, your teacher for today and for this advanced level. And I'm here with Marina, who's going to give you a very good tip, I'm sure she will, to learn English. How are you, Marina?
Very well, thank you. And you?
I'm great. Okay, so what did you do this week or lately to improve your English?
To watch a film in English.
Okay, very good. And do you watch it with subtitles or without subtitles?
Well, I like watching in both, with subtitles and without subtitles.
Okay, and when it's with subtitles, is it in English, the subtitles?
Yes,
or?
of course, in English.
Okay, which is also good, okay? Either way, it's very good, okay? If you still feel that you're not prepared to watch the film without subtitles because you think you're going to miss some things, put them in English, okay? And that way you can at least read it in English, okay? Another good thing is to maybe watch a film you've already watched before and take away the subtitles, because then you don't need it as much because you know what's going on,
And you can use the subtitles to read it aloud.
Exactly. Very good tip. Okay, you should write a book with your tips.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
Okay, we can write it together.
Yes.
Okay, as you know, we're going to focus on an expression today, okay, which is later on, okay? It's very important. This expression is extremely important because in Spanish, you tend to translate and you tend to say after. Okay, and in English we don't use after in the same way. We say after the show, but we don't say I'll call you after, for example. We'll say I'll call you later on, okay, and so on. Okay, so sometimes tomorrow, or sorry, this evening, later on, I'll call you, for example. And you tend to say in Spanish after instead of later on. Okay. So, in order to eliminate that mistake, we're going to practice this expression as much as possible, okay? We're going to practice it through a translation list. I'll say it in Spanish, and you and Marina have to say it in English, okay? We're going to repeat it until you master it completely. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yes, I do.
Because practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. Let's start with the first sentence, okay? Iba a llamarla, pero más tarde cambié de opinión.
I was going to call her, but later on I changed my mind.
Very good, very good. I thought you were going to say change my opinion, but no, she said it correctly. Cambiar de opinión, to change your mind, okay? Cambiar tu mente, literalmente, okay? To change your mind, very good. Okay, the next one is for you at home. Nos vemos luego. Very good. I'll see you later on. I'll see you later on. Be careful, we don't say we'll see each other later on, okay? It's I'll see you later on. Okay, very good. Are you ready for the next one? Yes. No tienes que leerlo ahora. Lo puedes hacer más tarde.
You don't have to read it right now. You can do it later on.
Very good. You don't have to read it right now. You can do it later on. Very good. The next one is for you, Marina, as well. Okay. Más tarde, cuando tengamos un descanso, la llamaré.
Later on, when I have a break, or we'll have a break, I'll call her.
Okay, one more time.
Later on, when I have a break, I'll call her.
Very good. Doesn't matter. I doesn't matter. But the thing is, she used the expression correctly. Later on. And remember, we say it as if it were one word, really, okay? We link it. We say later on, okay? All together, not later and then on, okay? The next one is for you at home, okay? Quizás vaya al supermercado más tarde. Very good. I might go to the supermarket later on. I might go to the supermarket later on. Again, can you hear that I'm saying it all together? Later on, okay? With the accent on, later on. Can you repeat just later on linking?
Later on.
Very good, later on, very good. Okay, the next one is for you, Marina, okay? Olvídalo, lo mandaremos más tarde.
Forget it. We'll send it later on.
Very good. Forget it. We'll send it later on, okay? Later on. Let's get Marina to repeat because I still hear two separate words.
Later on.
Very good, okay? Forget it, we'll send it later on. Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? No se lo digas ahora. Hablaré con él más tarde. Very good. Don't tell him now. I'll speak to him or I'll talk to him later on. Don't tell him now. I'll speak to him later on. Okay, very good. They're doing a very good job, aren't they?
Very good indeed.
Okay, the next one. ¿Podemos entregar el trabajo más tarde?
Can we hand in the project later on?
Okay, el trabajo, the project, the paper, if it's an essay, for example, okay? So can we hand in, very good, entregar, okay? Can we hand in the paper later on? Okay, one more time.
Can we hand in the paper later on?
Very good, very good. Okay, the next one, okay? En vez de planchar ahora, lo haremos más tarde.
Instead of ironing right now, we'll do it later on.
Very good, okay? Instead of ironing now, we'll do it later on. Later on, okay? Try to say it like that, as if it were just one word. Okay, the next one is for you at home. Lo harás luego, ¿no? Very good. You'll do it later on, won't you? You'll do it later on, won't you? Very good. They got that right, which was tricky, okay? Okay, the next one, okay? Imagine we're speaking on the phone. This is very important. It has to be on the phone, okay? No puedo contactar con él ahora mismo. Lo intentaré más tarde.
I can't get through to him
Very good.
right now. I'll try later on.
I'm very happy with Marina. This was a very difficult expression, okay? contactar con alguien por teléfono to get through to someone, okay? And she got it perfectly, okay? So can you repeat the sentence?
I can't get through to him right now. I'll try later on.
Very good. I can't get through to him right now. I'll try later on. Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? ¿Le molestará si lo hago después? Very good. Will he mind if I do it later on? Will he mind if I do it later on? Very good. Okay, you ready for the next one, Marina?
Yes.
Prefiero barrer ahora que más tarde.
I'd rather sweeping,
No,
right? Sweep. I'd rather sweep now than later on.
Okay, and instead of I'd rather,
I prefer to sweep now than later on.
Very good. Either one, okay? I'd rather or I prefer, it's the same, okay? The next one is for you as well, okay? Más tarde, cuando vea a Juan, le diré que llamaste.
Later on, when I see Juan or John, I'll tell him that you. I'll tell him that you phoned.
Okay, very good. One more time.
Later on, when I see John, I'll tell him that you phoned.
Very good. She's a perfectionist. She translates even the names, okay? Very good. Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? Intentó arreglar el ordenador enseguida, pero decidió hacerlo más tarde. Very good. He tried fixing the computer straight away, but he decided, But he decided to do it later on, okay? He decided to do it later on, okay? This is very important because it sounds much, much more natural if you say it as one word than if you say it as two separate words, okay? You ready for the next one?
Yes.
Podemos limpiar la casa ahora y salir más tarde.
We can clean the house right now and go out later on.
Very good, okay? We can clean the house now and go out later on, okay? Recomiendo hacerlo más tarde.
I advise
Or I
recommend to do it.
Doing it?
Or doing it now.
No,
or
later on.
later on.
One
I
more time.
recommend doing it later on.
Very good. I recommend doing it later on. Thank you very much, Martina. You did a great job. And thank you at home. Remember to keep on studying and keep on practicing, okay? I'll see you next time. Bye.
Walk right in, sit right down, baby. Okay, it's a very old song. Walk in, entra. Come on, walk in, come in. All right, ahora si entras andando y no a nado o a gatas, I can say walk in. I can also say walk out. You? Yeah, yes, you. What's your name? What's your name? Come on, tell me your name. What are you doing here? Are you a member of this class? I can't see your, let's see on the list. Excuse me, can you tell me your name, please? Edward Smith? Let's see, Edward Smith. I'm sorry, we don't seem to have an Edward Smith on the roll in La Lista. So I think the best thing would be for you to turn around and walk out. And close the door when you leave, please. Just turn around and walk out of this room. Okay? Walk out of this room. All right? Okay. Very good. See you. Goodbye. Okay. Now that it's just you and me, let's move to camera number one, okay? All right. Camera number one. Se fue andando. He walked out. But he didn't walk out on me. He walked out of the classroom because I sent him out. He's not supposed to be in this class. Yes. He came into this class uninvited. He walked into this class uninvited. So I told him just to turn around, simplemente. I told him just to turn around and walk out. So I told him to leave. And he left. No confrontations, no problems. All right? Now it's just you and me in a private class. And those are the best kind of classes, the private classes. Okay, to walk into is entrar andando. To walk out of is salir andando. Ahora, físicamente. If you walk into the room, for example, if I'm in a meeting, let's say, ¿cómo se dice digamos? Let's say I'm in a meeting and I need your help. You're not in the meeting. I'm in the meeting with several people, but I need some information from you, so I call you. Say, Manolo, can you come? I'm in room number 773. Can you come and bring me the report you received this morning from the PR agency, the Public Relations Agency, Agencia de Comunicación, the PR agency? Yeah, can you bring it? Yeah, thanks. So, Manolo walks into the meeting room, hands me the report, gives me, pero lo da con la mano, hands me the report, and turns around and walks out. Ok. Español probablemente diría, pues entra, me lo da y sale, o se va. Ok. Sin embargo, en inglés solemos usar, o muchas veces usamos constantemente, los verbos de locomoción. Mientras en español soléis usar los verbos normales de entrar y salir, añadiendo un gerundio locomotor. Ejemplo, él entró andando. In English we say, anduvo entrando. He walked into the room. Salió andando. He walked out of the room. Entró a nado. He swam, nado, entrando. He swam into the room. Salió a nado. He swam out of the room. Entró a gatas. He crawled into the room. Salió a gatas. He crawled out of the room. Entró corriendo. He ran into the room. Quickly gave me, here, turned around, and ran out of the room. Okay, this is physical. You understand this? We use movement verbs plus into, out of, or up to. Fui corriendo hasta el despacho del presidente en la última planta. I ran up por la escalera. I ran up to the boss's office. O el boss quería verme. He ran down to my office. It was so urgent, the chairman ran down to my office. Okay, etc. So we use the movement verb plus the preposition. Often into, out of, but sometimes up to, down to, over to, si es la misma planta. I ran over to his office. I walked over to his office. I skipped, bailando, over to his office, etc. Okay, now, si alguien se enfada y se levanta una reunión y se va, he walks out of the meeting. Yes. This is the figurative part, not the literal part. The figurative is, ladies and gentlemen, half of the people in this meeting are idiots. And everybody is shocked. Oh, my God. And the chairman of the meeting says, Peterson, I demand that you retract that statement. And Peterson says, very well. Half of the people in this meeting are not idiots. And Peterson gets up and walks out. He gets up and walks out. Or he gets up and walks out of the meeting. Añadimos la preposición adicional of, si decimos meeting al final. He gets up and walks out of the meeting. And the chairman says to the other, oh, Peterson walked out of the meeting. He just walked out on us. He walked out of the meeting. Meeting es una cosa menos personal. Us es muy personal. He walked out on us. Yes. Peter and Jane are engaged to get married. Comprometidos o prometidos, yeah. And Peter has become unfaithful. And so Jane turned around and walked out on him. She walked out of the apartment. They were sharing an apartment. They were sharing the expenses. Peter was paying half the rent. Jane was paying half the rent. Peter was paying half the food. Jane was paying half the food. They were planning to get married next Christmas, and Peter was unfaithful. And Jane found out. Well, Jane made a decision on the spot, en el acto, en el momento y en el acto, en el momento y en el sitio, on the spot. She walked out of the flat, she walked out of the house, and she walked out of his life, and she walked out on him. She said, don't walk out on me. He said to her, don't walk out on me. Don't walk out of this house. Don't walk out on me. Don't walk out of the house. And she turned and said to Peter, said, Peter, I trusted you. And you broke that trust. I am now going to turn around and I am going to walk out of this house. And I'm going to walk out of your life. And I'm going to walk out on you because it's my right. Okay. And I'm walking out on you for good. I'm walking out of this house for good. Para siempre. And I'm walking out of your life for good. Find another life. I'm not interested in your life. Goodbye. Qué dura es, ¿verdad? Ah, yes, Jane. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah and welcome to another block. This is the last block of the class for today and we begin with vocabulary as always. So let's say hello to my guest and we'll get started. Hello Marina.
Hello Hannah, how are you?
Great, how are you today?
Very well, very happy to be here.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, let's start with some vocabulary with the first expression, tener en cuenta.
To take into account.
Okay, to take into account or to keep?
In mind.
Okay, great.
Well.
All right, bien. So, to keep in mind. Now, Marina said to take into account, okay, but this expression is actually more common, okay, to keep in mind, tener en cuenta. Okay, next we have autosuficiente.
Self-sufficient.
Okay, good. Repeat.
Self-sufficient.
Muy bien. Self-sufficient. Self-sufficient. Now notice here self-sufficient. In the second word, sufficient, the accent falls on the second syllable. Self-sufficient. Self-sufficient. Okay, next we have incapacitado.
Disabled.
Okay, great. Disabled. Disabled. Again, aquí the emphasis or the accent falls on the second syllable. Disabled. Disabled. Next, we have hacer puente.
To take a long weekend.
Okay, good. Repeat.
To take a long weekend.
Okay, wonderful. To take a long weekend. To take a long weekend. And then finally, we have confianza en uno mismo.
Self-reliance or self-confidence.
Yes, okay, good. Repeat.
Self-confident.
Muy bien. Self-confidence.
All right.
Good. Self-confidence. Self-confidence. So we have confianza en uno mismo, self-confidence, that's a sustantivo. Now if we want the adjective, entonces eso sería self-confident, con E-N-T al final. So we have self-confidence, which is a sustantivo, self-confident, which is the adjective. Okay, now we're going to look at two very, very important verbs here. And the only difference that separates these two verbs, or these two phrasal verbs, is a tiny little preposition at the end of the series. So the two are to walk out on and also to walk out of. Okay, so let's look at the difference between to walk out on and to walk out of. Now, from the context, let's see if you can figure it out. Have you ever walked out of an important meeting?
No, I have never walked out of an important meeting.
Okay, good. Okay, so now here, what does that mean here? To walk out of an important meeting. Here we're looking at what? Abandonar, dejar, salirse de. Here, con of, we're talking about eventos, okay, like a meeting, okay, a class, a conference. Okay, eventos, reuniones, conferencias, así. So we used to walk out of for those types of situations. Now what about this one? Do some men walk out on their families?
Yes, some men walk out of, walk out on their families.
Okay, bien. So here we're using to walk out on, the preposition on. So do some men walk out on their families? Marina said yes. Some men walk out on their families. So here again it means abandonar, dejar, dejar, abandonar. And here we're using it for people, right? Personas, or obligaciones o responsabilidades. So in este caso we're talking about people, so we use to walk out on. Okay, did David walk out of the meeting this morning?
Yes, David walked out walked out of the meeting this morning.
Good. Repeat again.
Yes, David walked out of the meeting this morning.
Muy bien. So it basically means he left, right? So he left during the meeting or sometime during the meeting, he left, right? So again, we have un evento, a meeting, a conference, un evento, an event. So we used to walk out of. So yes, he walked out of the meeting this morning. Did she walk out on her husband last year?
Yes, she walked out on her husband last year.
Great, muy bien. So again, here in this case, we changed the expression with that little preposition on. She walked out on her husband last year. Again, basically you're saying that she left her husband last year. Did he walk out of the movie at the beginning?
No, he didn't walk out of the movie at the beginning.
Okay, good. Okay, when did he walk out of the movie?
When the movie finished.
Okay, great. Bien. So he walked out of the movie at the end or after the movie, so when it finished. So here again we're talking about un evento, a film, right? A film, a movie, a class, a conference call, lo que sea, presentation, un evento. So he walked out of the movie after it finished or at the end. What time did they walk out of the conference? What time did they walk out of the conference?
Oh, they walked out of the conference at 12:30.
Okay, very good. They walked out of the conference at 12:30. Again, se fueron, right? Abandonaron, dejaron. So they walked out of the conference at 12:30. Did the chairman walk out on his duties?
No, the chairman didn't walk out of on his duties.
Okay, repeat again.
No, the chairman didn't walk out of on his duties.
Okay, again, third time's the charm. La tercera la vencida.
No, the chairman didn't walk out on his duties.
Okay, muy bien, muy bien. So here we're talking about responsibilities or obligations or people. So we say to walk out on. So did the chairman walk out on his duties? Marina said no, he didn't. Or no, the chairman didn't walk out on his duties. Do some women walk out on their families?
Regretfully, some women walk out on their families.
Okay, exactly. Yes, exactly. Regretfully, some women walk out on their families. Just like the other example I used before. Do some men walk out on their families? Yes, some men walk out on their families and some women walk out on their families. So again, the difference here, to walk out on someone or on your responsibilities, your obligations, your duties, or to walk out of a meeting, a movie, a class, a conference. So make sure you practice these sentences so that you can clearly differentiate between the two verbs, okay? So keep practicing and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Another class, another day. Another day, another dollar. Class 152 with the beautiful image of our sweet Hannah. She's here on this page. But this is the last time I'm going to look at this piece of paper for the rest of my life because it is history. Tomorrow's class number 153. And we must move on. We can't spend our time reminiscing in the past, although it's essential to review. It's essential to go over everything again and again and again. We also need to move forward, because if you perceive that you're not moving forward, you can become demotivated. And that's very important to avoid. Our job not only is to teach you, is to motivate you. But if you can help with self-motivation, todavía mejor, even better.